Hi, this is Jack Stanley, and today's date is September the 17th, 2017. Something very important happened on this date 230 years ago. But we're not hearing much about it at all. We used to hear about it. So I thought I would mention the fact of what happened 230 years ago today. We had a convention in Philadelphia in 1787 trying to figure out how to create a founding document for the government of this new country. We had something called the Articles of Confederation, which was a disaster. Of course, that's all we could think of at the time. It was created during the time of the American Revolution. And it had many things in it that were totally against what the British had done. And so, of course, it was a reaction to, rather than a concept of creating something anew. We ended up with 13 separate countries, more or less, even though we didn't call them that. Each state was its own country. Each state had its own militia. Each state had its own currency. Each state had tariffs and duties that it would administer onto other states. This was a problem because what would happen is that due to this fact, if you were transporting materials, let's just say from New Jersey to Virginia, you would leave with your goods from New Jersey and you would reach Delaware, or let's just say you went to Pennsylvania. You would transfer your New Jersey money to Pennsylvania money, pay a tariff to bring your materials through, and continue on your way. As you worked your way south, you would get to Maryland. And in Maryland, you would transfer your Pennsylvania cash or money to Maryland money. You would pay your required duties and tariffs and continue on your way till you reach Virginia, and then the same process would be repeated. This was really a difficult thing. This was like going through Europe 40 years ago. Now, the federal government, as one would suspect because of its reaction to a strong government that was put through by England, was very weak. It could charge taxes but did not have the power to collect them. It could declare war but could not administer it. The states were far more powerful than the central government. This is a disaster in the making. And of course everyone realized that it was. And through a lot of conversations, a lot of back-channeling, everyone got together in Philadelphia, including George Washington, who reluctantly did it. And they wrote a new body of laws, which we will call our Constitution. There were lots of various plans. There was the New York plan, there was the Virginia plan, there was the Connecticut plan. Eventually, after a lot of argument, after a lot of really great tempers roaring, after a lot of people refusing to even have a part of it, it was eventually printed, and on September the 17th, 1787, it was signed. That was the date that the American Constitution was signed. I don't see a thing in the news about it. It wouldn't be ratified until 1788, and it wouldn't come into effect until 1789. You see, when we talk about the United States, in reality, our country as we know it today was born in 1789, not 1776. 1776 is when we did the Declaration of Independence, which followed the Declaration of Written Grievances. But they were documents stating a desire. They were not stating anything that was a fact. And that is important. So today is the 230th anniversary of the signing of the American Constitution, the oldest constitution of a democratic republic around, really, if you think about it. Many people have based their constitutions on ours. And ours was based on those of the ancient Romans and the Greeks and some of the British as well. But the thing is, we should remember our history, not toss it aside. So, if you're seeing this today, or maybe you'll see this in a week, remember how important and how amazing it was that they were able to develop such a document. Benjamin Franklin, of course, who had a loose tongue at times. He had young men that were walking with him, actually, to make sure he didn't blab. After it was all over and done, as he walked out to his sedan chair, which he was carried over to his home, some older ladies came up to him and said, "What have you done?" He said, "We have written a constitution, if you can keep it." Very important if you think about it, because most republics do not last. This is a very long-lasting republic. But of course, as you can notice, as what's been happening lately, there are some cracks in the facade of this republic. But I think it's time, maybe today, to take a step backwards and look at the amazing thing that was done on this date 230 years ago. Thank you very much.